Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we're going to do something slightly different today. Today is my weekly reset on my diet. So what that means is that I'm still calorie counting, but I can be a bit more lean of what I eat, so I can have some bad kind of foods. So today we're going to do a classic Bolognese recipe. So I'm going to be making a spaghetti Bolognese later on tonight. So I thought I'd do a nice video on how to make the Bolognese al ragu, the actual meat sauce. So something nice, simple, but you can have, you can do multiple things with this. You can use this recipe for lasagna, spaghetti Bolognese, which I'm doing. All sorts of stuff. I'm just going to be using pure beef today, but sometimes people use beef and pork mince, but I'm just going to use beef today because I couldn't get hold of some nice pork mince. So I'm using some steak mince. I'm using about a kilo of steak mince here. So because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a batch, have some, and then I can freeze it down in little batches. So for the actual recipe, I've got here 1 red onion. I've got 1 stick of celery and 1 medium-sized carrot. I've got 2 cloves of garlic here. If you don't know how to crush garlic, I will leave a link in the description or somewhere up here. I did it on stream once, how to make garlic, how to crush garlic with a knife, so I'll leave that there. I've got some fresh herbs today. I'm using a bit of rosemary here. Lovely robust rosemary, goes well with beef, so you can use a bit of mixture of rosemary, thyme and a bay leaf, so I'm going to be using some rosemary and a bay leaf. I've got some chopped tomatoes here. These are finely chopped tomatoes. Also, we need a bit of tomato paste. This is completely optional. I'm using some red wine here, so this is optional. You don't have to use this. And then I've got my steak mince, and I have some beef stock just to give it a bit more flavour, and of course salt and pepper. So the first things first, so what we're going to do is get all our ingredients and we're going to prep them all, finally slice them all, and then after that's all done we are going to start our cooking process. So guys, the next thing we're going to do is prep some vegetables. So I've got my celery here that I've peeled. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cut it in half. Make little batons out of that, square it up, and then we're going to very slowly, finely dice our celery. Like so. Put that to one side, same again. Make them into little batons, square them up, and try to go as fine as you can. If you can't go as fine as I'm going, just take your time and go at your own pace. Doesn't have to be super fine. And there's our celery. Now for our carrot, I've peeled it, so I'm going to chop, tail it, and in these you can have a bin or keep aside for stocks and soups. We'll move the celery out of the way. So this is going to be slightly different with the carrot, so I'm going to cut it in half at ease, upright, and then make little slices, collect all those slices up, like so, baton them, and then the same again. If you wanted to, you can grate these. As back in when I studied at college, what we used to do is we used to ground our own meat in a mincer. So what we did was get our celery, carrots and onions and ground them actually in with the meat, so it all comes combined into one. So the last little bit. into batons, square it away, and roughly dice. That's like that. And then last one, same again, into those strips. Put the strips together. For this one, you can do them at the same time. And there's your carrot and your celery. So for the onions, we're just going to simply dice it. So what we'll do is we've got the onion. So the onion, I've got the skins on. So for the onion, you've got the root here on the side, and the other side you've got this part. So slice that up, keep that for stocks, soups. With your root or that hair, just pick it up. What I do is tend to twist it, comes off neatly. That can go into the bin in half, and then we can peel it. Make sure the root stays intact. All the peelings can go into stocks. The root stays intact because it's the root that holds everything together. And then for our onion, what we do is finger and thumb like that. Go across, make a nice incision, and then finally like so. There's our onion. Then that part, always keep these soups, stocks. If you haven't got any stocks on the go, put them in a freezer bag, whack them in the freezer till you need them. Again, I've gone across. For this one, it's quite big, so what I'm going to do is 1 and 2. And same again. And there's our onions, our carrots, and our celery ready to get sweated off in our pan, which is going to be our next job. So at the same time as doing this, we've got our garlic ready, crushed. And so next is going to be frying all this off in our pan with a bit of olive oil. Right guys, hot pan with olive oil. We're going to get our carrots, onions and garlic. In there. And now we're going to start spreading these down to release all the natural sweetness and to burn off all that water before we add our minced beef into here. So we're going to keep mixing it. Just letting that natural sweetness and all that water content burn off. Right, so our vegetables have been sweated off. They're nice and soft. All the water's burnt out. So what we're going to do now is I've got my beef here. So I was going to break that up. into our pan. And now we're going to start to cook our beef down for about 10 to 15 minutes. Right, it's been a couple of minutes. As you can tell, it's browned, but look at the bottom, you've got all that liquid there. This is what we want to burn off. So now we're going to keep this cooking for another 10 minutes until, as you can hear it, it sounds like a boiling, like a bubbling, which is what we don't want. As soon as that goes away and we hear like a frying sound, that isn't when we know that all that water content has been boiled away, and we get that nice sizzle on our mince. So I'm going to let this go now for another 5-10 minutes to get rid of all that water content. So guys, all the water's been boiled off. Sorry for the extraction time, it's getting quite steamy in here. All the water's boiled off. As you can hear, it's changed down to a sizzling. So now what we're going to do is add our tin of, actually we are going to add our tin of chopped tomatoes, but first we've got our red wine, which like I said is optional. We're going to go in with our red wine and our fresh herb. Now what we're going to do is let's cook this for another 5 minutes, get all that alcohol and that wine burnt off, and then we're going to add our chopped tomatoes and our tomato paste and season with a bit of salt and pepper. So now what I'm going to do is just let that reduce by half, burn off all that alcohol, about 5 minutes. Alright guys, so our red wine has reduced by half, it's almost gone, but you get the smell, which is awesome. So now what we're going to do is add our tin of chopped tomatoes in. And a nice squeeze of tomato paste. Give that a mix. Now what we're going to do is just let this simmer for about 20 minutes or so. And then we are going to add a bit of beef stock to this just to fortify the flavours. So I'm just going to let this simmer low and slow. I'm going to turn the heat down to about halfway, so about 5, and let this simmer for about 20 minutes, just for those flavours to infuse in with each other. So, like I said, let it simmer now for about 20 minutes. So guys, it's been about 20 minutes. Our bolognese sauce is lovely and done. As you can tell, it has thickened up a bit. So what I have done is I've just seasoned this with a bit of salt and pepper. I've turned the heat off. Now this is ready to be used in lasagnas, spaghetti bolognese. So what we're going to do is I've turned the heat off. I'm just going to let this sit now. You can make this a day in advance and this will mature. So it's best to mature it. So this is going to be sitting here for about a good hour or so. Let it get cool. I'll take this out into a bowl and let that mature overnight. And this will be amazing for spaghetti bolognese, like I said, lasagnas. You can even get raviolis, fill this up, so it's nice. So this is just a basic recipe. This is the one I always do on streams and I've done up to now. So, but traditionally, like I said, it's made with pork and beef mince. Sometimes you put Italian sausage in it. You make your own tomato sauce, but I've just used a tin of chopped tomatoes, some tomato paste, bit of red wine, salt, pepper, fresh rosemary in there, carrots, onions, celery, and garlic. This is just a basic one. So there you go guys, a simple bolognese sauce right there. So guys, like I said, that's a nice easy bolognese sauce here. It's not traditional, but this is how I make it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little video I've done. Please give a like, comment any recipes you want me to make, just to show you how I do it in my style. So all these recipes I've done on YouTube is just how I cook them. Cooking is a guideline. A recipe is a guideline. You don't have to follow the recipe. The only time you follow recipes is if you're doing desserts, cakes, stuff like that. Then that's more of a science. But for recipes like this, you can add red wine into it. You don't have to. You can do different flavors of red wine. You can put a bit more herbs, a bit more garlic. You don't use the carrots. This is just a basic recipe for you guys to follow. So take it away, go explore, go make amazing food. That's what we're here for. So that's about it. So I will take a picture of the lasagna that I will be making with this later on as well. I'm probably gonna do some spaghetti bolognese tonight, and then I'll do a lasagna tomorrow. So I'll take pictures of both just so you guys can see it. So hopefully you enjoy this video. As always, all links are in the description for my Twitch, where I live stream every now and then. I'm trying to focus more on my YouTube side, so I might do some live streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch, because that's what I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to focus on YouTube really. I want to get some nice videos pumping out. As you can tell, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I have repainted my kitchen so it's nice white. I've moved some stuff around. A bit more cleaner white shirt, nice new apron, and so I'm trying to make it best videos as I can. Got some new equipment in the kitchen as well for my filming. So hopefully you enjoy this video, guys, and I will catch you very, very soon in the next one, which will probably be a dessert, because I've not done that many sweets and due to my diet, so I might do a dessert one. We shall see. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you later.